What are you doing? You're like reading the Huffington Post?
You don't like that? I was just looking at this one.
No, I mean, like, I'm sitting here.
I know.
Like, it's not about the Huffington Post specifically. You're just reading an article.
I didn't. I was just flipping it to the title. I was reading titles. Whoops.
Was there a streaker at the Super Bowl?
I heard.
Wait, there was?
Well, I heard a headline. I didn't hear anything else. I only see headlines.
The one time I don't watch the Super Bowl. I mean, I guess I would have...
I'm sorry.
I would have had it muted during that section anyway, because I only watched the commercials. Because I see someone saying... anyone watching the trial, Super Bowl streakers all over the news and TikTok, all over Google Cards version of news anyways. That's on a server. What do they mean, the trial for the streaker?
No.
Those are two different people saying that. I don't know. So the trial is probably something else.
The Trump thing.
Oh. Wait. But he was already...
No, they agreed to hold a trial, and then they had to set the rules for the trial. He was already tried for impeachment, and he was impeached. But now it's a second one, because one apparently wasn't enough.
But they already impeached him a second time, though.
No, they didn't.
They did.
They're having the trial. They're having a trial.
No, but he was officially impeached twice.
Right. That's the thing where it says maybe the trial is to decide what his consequences are.
Impeached means you get kicked out of presidency, right?
No, that's the part where they have to finish deciding what he gets. I don't know. I'm gonna sound like a dumbass on your thing now. But
I mean, I'm the one who has no idea. Apparently, I don't know.
Impeached?
No one knows.
It was like they vote. Stop moving. It's like when they voted.
It just sounded like you hit me.
When they voted to impeach him, they voted that they all agreed there needed to be a trial.
What stopped moving?
The car that kept inching out.
Oh, go to D'Angelo again.
Anyway, they voted that impeachment was necessary. I think that's what they voted, and that it was justified, and so now they have to go and say whether.
But there's not a chance anymore that it's not going to happen.
No, if they don't get 17 Republicans or something, then he doesn't get in
what
trouble.
happened to the school?
And he does. Oh shit!
What?
The camera. I hope I didn't already get
camera.
That thing. I keep forgetting this.
Why were you speeding?
If you go over 31 miles, then you get a ticket in the mail, which is so slow.
I mean, it is right next to a school.
Look how fast 31 is. Watch. This is how fast 31 is.
When did they put the camera up?
I don't know, a year or two ago.
Have you watched anything? More of The Mandalorian or WandaVision or anything?
No. I've been doing a lot of math, and I discovered a YouTube channel that only has weather sounds. So I've been listening to snow.
It looks like you're still watching Wilson Phillips person.
Yeah. And I've been listening to fireplaces crackling, and I've been listening to blizzards and and night animals, and then forest animals, and then sometimes
that doesn't really count as watching something, though.
And morning birds.
I've just been watching Ghost Rider, which I guess I said last time, but that episode wasn't recorded. Yeah, Ghost Rider. Well, I did start watching, and I have watched WandaVision.
That kind of kills me that I haven't seen WandaVision.
You need to. Someone's gonna spoil it.
I really think that that's the one thing that intrigues me.
Did you get spoiled yet?
No, I don't even know what it's really about. But
it's just a sitcom.
No, it's not.
It is.
There's a thing about why are they in there.
Well, yeah, but on the surface, it's just a sitcom. Look, a Hawaii license plate. And I did watch the first 2 episodes of Kid Cosmic.
I
as
don't know
well.
what that is.
It's a cartoon on Netflix from Craig McCracken, who the creator of the Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Wander Over Yonder, which you wouldn't have heard of. You might have heard of the other two. I mean, I imagine you know the Powerpuff Girls.
Look, a Hawaii license plate.
I said that a minute ago. I said that a minute ago.
How is there a Hawaii license plate?
Yeah, they drive over the water.
That's so weird.
They must have been here a while, because I can't imagine they got here post-pandemic, right?
I don't know how a Hawaii license plate.
Are you saying how because of the pandemic?
No. How does a car get here from Hawaii?
Ship.
What?
Boat. Do people take a boat from Hawaii ever?
Not really.
They only ever fly?
That would be like me taking a boat to England.
You can't take like a cruise to... Well, people do take a boat to... I guess it...
No, they don't.
Not anymore? Not since the 1600s?
Not since the 1900s. You used to take a big cruise ship.
Oh, right, because planes weren't invented and... Right.
But ever since there have been transatlantic flights, they pretty much don't take boats at all. Even up until the 50s, people were taking boats. But now people just don't bother.
I mean, I guess if you were to take a boat to England, it would take days.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Can you fly a car? Like, can you put a car on a plane like you can on a boat?
I mean, I was gonna say, isn't that how cars from Europe get here? But then, no, they come on a boat. I don't know. No, you can't fly cars.
Because they're too heavy?
I mean, it's not like it's not possible.
They do fly gold, which I imagine would weigh more than a car.
It's not that it's not possible, but they generally don't.
I mean, I imagine they said they fly gold. I saw it in Tenet. And it would be a weird thing to make up. So, that's why I imagine it's real.
The thing about boats is they're so large that with one engine or a couple of engines, they can send many cars and many things over. So, there's no reason to put a car in a plane.
Maybe they only took the license plate over.
I don't know.
You have heard of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Monsters.
No, it has imaginary friends.
Not monsters?
They're, I mean,
But they look
some
like
are
monsters.
monstrous, but they're imaginary friends. Because that's what, I mean, that's what some imaginary friends look like. I mean, it depends on the kid, I guess. Like, Eduardo looks monstrous because the kid that imagined him, I don't remember, she was either brave or needed someone to be brave for her or something like that. Something, I don't know. He's not brave, though. It's a foster home for imaginary friends. It's like a
That's interesting.
yeah. It's like a it's a what do they call it? Orphanage. It's like an orphanage for imaginary friends. But run by someone named Madam Foster, so it's Foster's home. And then Wander Over Yonder, I don't know, it's just like a guy in space, a little Muppet-looking guy, having adventures in space, like going from planets to planets, being like a I don't know what you would call it. I don't know why I want to say like Pee Wee Herman or Mr. Bean. It's not really like either of those. But he's just like a kind of annoying but well-meaning guy. I haven't watched most of that. I haven't watched like any of that show, but yeah, he's just going from like planet to planet, going on misadventures like that. And you know the Powerpuff Girls, right? Yeah. And then Kid Cosmic, his new show, is like a kid that finds some rings from outer space that give superpowers, and then there's like a superhero team from that, I guess. Hopefully, yeah, whatever. It's kind of funny. The animation's nice.
Did I tell you about my dizzy spell?
No?
It was really disturbing. I'm trying to remember where.
Maybe you did.
Well, it just happened to me. It was really scary. Like, it sounds dumb because I always didn't understand why anyone would really be upset about having any dizziness, like vertigo or something. It's just a word, really, to me. And then it happened to me, and it's ridiculous. You feel like you're gonna die. It's the stupidest thing. So, first of all, I've seen I even saw an earthquake last night.
I've seen the light.
I've seen an earthquake last night. So basically, because my house is 3 stories.
There was no earthquake.
Yeah. I'll tell you. So basically, my house is 3 stories, and it's like it has wood frame that just goes straight up. So because I'm on the 3rd floor, if there's any tremor in the earth at all, I can see the water in my apartment. Just like I had a bottle of water on my apartment, and I could just see it going like this. And I could feel the earth underneath me going like.
You know, if you turn it into an anecdote, I'm gonna get lost. Like I say there's no earthquake, and you're like, yeah, here's this elaborate story of how there actually was an earthquake.
So
yeah, but I didn't follow that.
I can see the earth tremors that we keep having, and they're not strong enough to be in the news, but I keep seeing them. So. Oh, by the way, at this testing center is a flock of turkeys that live over here, and I had a fight with one of them. But anyway, I was laying in bed, and I said, "Hey, do you feel that earthquake?" Because it was really strong. And it said, no. And then I looked in the mirror, because the last time there was an earthquake, I could see everything in the mirror go side to side. And nothing was moving, and I was like, that's weird. I'm not seeing that there's an earthquake, but I'm definitely feeling everything shifting like that. So I was like, I don't know. And then I fell asleep, and then I went to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I couldn't hardly walk. Like, I felt like a kid that got flung around so many times in a circle that they can't hardly walk, and you want to fall over. And I was like, oh my god, this is so disturbing. So I just tried to walk to the bathroom and use it. And then I said, well, I'm just going to go back to bed because this is disturbing. So then in the morning, I was looking at my phone, and I was like, well, I don't know how I feel, but I'm just going to look at my phone. And then came in, and I said, hey, I was really dizzy, wanna see? And then I went to sit up, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, no way. And I had to lay back down. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I felt so dizzy, and I was like, nope, I can't even sit up. I can't do anything. So then I had to lay in bed for 6 hours. Oh, so after I stopped being nauseous, then I wanted to figure out my phone. I realized, wait, is this what a stroke feels like? What is this?
No, you never stand up too fast, and it's like.
But no, it's so much worse than that, because.
But that does happen, right, for you?
I just have to park here.
And that's not, and that wouldn't be like a thing. That
usually happens when you have low blood pressure, and I don't have low blood pressure, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't have low blood pressure.
It's probably pretty low.
Huh?
It's probably on the low side.
What is? Mine?
Yes, because
what are you talking about?
Because it runs in our family, and you're thin. But now
what were you?
Now I'm fat now, and now I'm high. But it used to be low.
Is that a bad thing?
Only if it gets too low. But usually for thin people who are young,
can you go?
It runs low. So I looked on my phone just to make sure it wasn't a sign of a stroke, and then I wanted to see if it was a sign of COVID. And there was no signs that it was COVID, but then I dug deeper, and it said there was one person who went in the ER, and their only sign was dizziness, and it was COVID. But the bottom line is, if you have COVID and no other symptoms, the chances are you don't have COVID. So I was like, okay.
If you have COVID and no other symptoms?
If you have dizziness and no other signs of COVID, then it's probably not COVID. But the thing is, everything else that makes you dizzy, I didn't have. Like, I don't have an infection in my ear. I don't have...
So it was the earthquake?
No, I know it wasn't the earthquake. But what the funny thing was, last night I actually did see things in my apartment shift. I kind of felt my chair felt weird, and I was like, am I having that thing again? But then I saw the wine on the table go woo, 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 and I was like, oh God, there goes the house again. It's just like these low-grade tremors. I think we must live near our fault line.
That's not normal?
No one else notices it, and I never noticed it before, but now that I live on the 3rd floor, and my house is pretty clean.
This person says the streaker wasn't naked.
No, that's a shame. So
he just ran out onto the field real quick. So that's not a streaker.
Well, he streaked by.
But that's not what streaking means.
That's generally
If someone says, we're going streaking, it doesn't mean
no.
we're going running down the road.
Anyway, I had to be in bed all day, and then I finally was able to sit up somehow, and I didn't end up being sick. And I thought about going to the hospital because it said if you have extreme dizziness all of a sudden for no reason, you should go to the hospital. But then I was like, oh no, I'll be in the hospital for hours and hours with all those COVID patients. So I was like, nah, I'll just look into it later. It was the weirdest thing. It's really bad. I think it was dehydration, which is weird because I didn't feel that thirsty. But sometimes you don't feel that thirsty when you're dehydrated. Did you know that? When you don't drink enough water, you can get dehydrated and actually have symptoms of dehydration and not even know that you're dehydrated.
Like veiny arms?
Headache, dizziness, dry lips. There's all kinds of weird stuff, and you don't even know you're thirsty. At least that's what happens to me. I generally never feel thirsty.
I showed Iggy my veiny arms one time, and she was like, "Oh, you're just dehydrated."
Valerie showed me a picture of a lady before and after she started her water regimen, and she apparently looked 10 years younger or something. I guess it does affect your looks, but anyway,
but
that's why I want to get tested to see if I've ever had COVID.
But ew, water. You already got tested to see if you ever had COVID.
Last March. I want to see, I obviously don't have it right now, but I want to see if in the past couple of months I've had it, and I don't know. I want to see if I'm asymptomatic.
How would you have had it and not known?
Somebody told me that 40% of people who get it are asymptomatic, which seems dumb to me. Was it that said that? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And so those people would be spreading it. That seems outrageous to me. And especially because me and you and probably all have old blood. We're all probably all the same kind of composition with our immune systems and our body types and our race and everything like that. And got a little cold. And her kid got a little cold. Well, and you got a cold. I mean, you didn't feel like you were going to die, or you weren't in bed for 2 weeks.
I did feel like I was going to die, but just because... I didn't think I was going to die, but I felt like I was going to die because I felt that same way that I felt a while ago, and I was like, am I going to die? And then I felt like felt like popcorn, and then so I went to the doctor, and it's like, I don't know, nothing's wrong with you. And then I was like, okay, I don't know why I feel like I'm going to die. But
it wasn't like you weren't having...
And then when I had COVID, I felt like that again, and then it wasn't just popcorn. I also felt like toasted marshmallow.
But I wanted to tell you, to say it wasn't like any of your systems weren't working. It wasn't like you couldn't breathe, or it wasn't like you had diarrhea so bad that it would never stop, or it wasn't like your throat just didn't even let you drink water. It wasn't like you couldn't stop vomiting no matter how hard. You didn't have anything where you were actually... You just felt really stupid.
You don't die from diarrhea.
Yes, you do. It's one of the leading causes of death for children around the world.
Why don't people talk? Is it because it's sad, but it's too funny to be sad? Is that why people don't talk about it?
Because it's in poor countries, and so we're in the United States, so whatever. I mean, the thing is, the news is busy.
Well, because
and it's kind of a matter.
It's sad, but you can't. But it can't be sad when you say someone shit themselves to death.
It's the same. There are a lot of problems around the world that people in third world countries have, from lack of drinking water to lack of clean stoves where they don't breathe huge black smoke every day. There's a lot of problems that people around the world have, and that's just one of them. And we just don't put our focus on that because we got other problems, like how am I gonna find a job, and this is just how the United States works. I mean, if you studied third world countries, you'd know this, but unless people have an interest in third world countries...
If you studied third world countries, you'd know.
No, I know. I didn't mean to sound like that, but it doesn't get brought up unless people are talking about the conditions in third world countries. Because people are generally too busy trying to deal with whatever. But yeah, it's the leading one of the leading causes of death for children around the world. And so anyway, about COVID, like you didn't stop, your body didn't stop working on you. You just felt really, really, really weird, right? Is that right?
Indescribable.
Okay. So why did I bring that up?
Because you're about to get tested. Or you're about to sign up to get tested. So you should go do that.
You and you and are built the same way as me. We are very, very similar physically. I'm going right now. But I'm pretty sure if I had gotten COVID, I would have had similar symptoms. I'm not just going to have no symptoms, especially since my health is crap and I have high blood pressure. So I don't think that I had COVID, but I don't know, because I don't know what that weird ass disease spell was, so. Hello?
Yep.
This is a testing center, right?
Yep.
I came here last March to get my blood drawn, and I didn't have COVID. I just only had that crazy flu.
Okay.
And now, for some reason, I just want to get my blood tested again to see if I had it. But I don't know your phone number, so I thought.
Walk in the front.
Okay.
As long as you don't have any fever, you can come right in.
Okay.
That guy's a doctor, and he moved his mask to talk.
It gets to like you have to yell so loud and you get out of breath that you forget, because you're just trying to.
It was instinctive. As soon as he started talking, he like moved his mask away from his mouth.
I had one customer who I asked him to put his mask up, and every time he talked to me, he pulled it all the way down. I was livid, but I was being polite. I was so angry. People are so crazy. The mask saves you. I don't care what anyone says. I had a COVID baby sitting on my lap, and then you played with a kid without a mask, and you got it, and I didn't. So everyone who says masks don't work.
Oh, I didn't get it because I didn't wear a mask. I literally,
Actually,
I didn't see her for so long, and then I was like, all right, I guess if you get it, I'm gonna get it anyway. And so then I was like, then I didn't bother avoiding her, and so because I didn't go out at all, but then I ended up going around her because she goes around you. So if you got it, I would get it anyway.
I was wearing a mask around them.
The reason I didn't get it, the reason I got it is because she told you she had it,
I know.
and she didn't tell me.
I know. That's really super, super upsetting. Anyway,
because I wouldn't have gone over there, and I already wasn't going over there.
I know. I wasn't even referring to you and how you say whatever about masks. I just mean other people, when they say masks don't work, it's like.
Even if I wore a mask, I wouldn't have worn a mask in that situation because it would have been like you don't usually wear a mask around them anyway.
She tried to give me the test now, and I was like, wait, is there a line? And she said, yeah. And I said, I can't do it right now. She said, well, we're open till 8 and you don't need an appointment. So I'm like, okay then, I'll just come back. It would be really great for me to know if I've ever had it and I just didn't even know. I want to know if I have that virus in my body. Because, I know that when I get shingles, it's because I know I had chickenpox. I don't have to worry about weird COVID symptoms if I've never had COVID, but if I have had COVID, even if I haven't had symptoms, then I will know if I feel weird, it could be COVID. Like, down the line when you're in your 30s or something, you might feel like your lungs are weird. That could be, I don't want to make you feel bad.
Huh? What do you mean? I could get shingles?
I think. Did you ever get chickenpox?
I'm pretty sure I got the vaccine.
Maybe. Then you can't get shingles. But what I'm trying to tell you is, they think that there's a good possibility that
the chickenpox vaccine.
That COVID is a lot.
There's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The COVID is a lot like chickenpox and herpes. It just lives in you and pops up every once in a while to cause you problems.
Wait, so if you get chickenpox, you can still get shingles?
It's the Jesus.
It's the what?
It's the chickenpox virus reactivated. Only instead of giving you scabs all over your body, itchy scabs, instead of doing that, it will give you one rash in one place. But the rash will be super, super painful. And if it's anywhere near
Chickenpox is scabs?
it looks like measles. It's like a bunch of itchy bumps all over your body.
Right.
And
I thought shingles was that, but scabs.
no, so the bumps all over your body turn into scabs, and they tell the kids, don't pick at it. You get scars. It's itchy bumps that you don't want to try.
Has anyone gotten like super scarred from just having chickenpox?
What happens is if you're a child, your skin is so fresh that by the time you're an adult, you can probably point them out, but they're hard to see. But if you spent like a lot of time digging at one, you might have a hole or a little pit where it was. But I mean, kids' skin is pretty forgiving.
Well, they have cinnamon rolls.
They're not good.
They're not good?
Hi, I'm a large, hot, half decaf, half regular. Black? With 6 creams and 4 sugars.
They're not like little cinnamon melts?
That's it, thanks.
You're welcome, person.
They're not?
It just doesn't taste like, I don't know, that good. I mean, I'm always a fan of frosting.
Are they not? Is there not a lot of frosting? Or?
The cake dough.
Look at that hairdo on the ad.
I'm sure, yeah, like Jasmine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you would think they're pretty good, but the dough just seemed like, to me.
So it wasn't like the cinnamon melt.
I don't know what it is about the cinnamon rolls, but they're so good. I mean, the ones that
the cinnamon melts. Yeah, the ones they used to have.
And the brownie ones.
The brownie melts. Yeah, why bring back like an item that's a lesser version when you have the better version already? Like you have the capability and the recipe and the ingredients.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. Can I see how wait a second.
What?
Can I have like 3 or 4 sugars?
I can't hear you.
Can I have 3 or 4 sugars? Lately I've been getting super disgustingly sweet coffee no matter how many sugars I ask them. Thanks. I was asking for 5 sugars, which is less than the normal amount, and that was not even drinkable. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do, because it happened in 3 different McDonald's, so now I have to ask for 4 sugars, and wouldn't you know it, this one's not sweet enough, but at least I can drink it. I wanted to tell you about having the virus, COVID. When you have a herpes virus, like chickenpox, which is a herpes virus, it's a version. It's like there's many kinds, and that's one of them. It just lives in your body, and it pops out every once in a while and causes you trouble, especially if you're not feeling good, you're under stress. So chickenpox is usually itchy bumps when you're a kid, but then when it pops out when you're an adult, it makes a super painful rash that could actually cause you blindness. So the
How?
Because if it's like whatever it's doing to your nerve cells, I guess it's inflaming your nerve cells. So if it inflames your nerves near your eye, then it can hurt your optic nerve, I guess. Anyway,
Optic, you don't want to use.
COVID lives in your cells, and after you've had it, it might just go dormant, but it might pop up and cause you aggravation later down the line. It might cause trouble with your nerves. It might cause trouble with your lung tissue. So there's a lot of nervous symptoms with COVID. It can affect your brain and just a lot of different things. So if you've had COVID, which unfortunately you've had it, you want to stay healthy, and you want to if you have some unexplainable weird symptom, the doctor might look to see if it's COVID related. Like even in your 30s or your 40s, or when you're older.
What are you talking about?
because now you have COVID and it causes weird nerve symptoms. And it causes damaged lung tissue. Like, even for people who haven't had symptoms, they do an x-ray of the lungs and find the tissue has been altered.
When do I get an x-ray?
You don't need one now because you don't have any symptoms and you're healthy and you're
But I
very
have
young.
had symptoms.
And you're healthy and you're very... Not right now, though.
But...
So-
but you said the people who don't have symptoms, then they find out they've had
There's
lung
nothing
damage.
that they can do, but if you're suffering from a weird symptom like shortness of breath or anything where you're like, I really am not... This is what happens to people who have had COVID, a lot of them. They don't feel like themselves. They feel weird. They feel kind of sick, but they can't really put their finger on it. Those people need to have extra look by their doctor. But if you're feeling like you're functioning at 99% regular normalcy, it's just something to keep in mind, that you have to be careful of your health, because I don't know, you just don't want to get unhealthy and then...
I'm realizing this was a bad time to start a podcast because half of every episode is just going to be about COVID.
Half of what episode? Ours?
Every episode.
Of ours?
Yeah. Half of every episode.
Well, we've never talked about this before. Maybe somebody...
We
might
have
think
talked
this
about
is
COVID
good.
every episode.
No, but not about how if you've had it, that down the line in your 40s or your 30s, that it might cause some health struggles. I've never said that before.
Yeah, but it's the same topic.
But maybe somebody might actually...
Is what I'm saying.
I went the wrong way. Might benefit from knowing that.
No one's gonna listen to it.
Well, then you don't have to worry. But it is beneficial to know that, because the people don't know and they should know. And another reason why people
Where are you going?
down that street. Another reason why people need to know is because a lot of people think they're just going to get COVID and just shake it off. They're going to be like, I'm young, let's get it, I'll just be done with it. They shouldn't feel that way. It's dangerous. I don't want to make you feel bad.
It's dangerous.
I can't get out of that hole. I just can't. Remember, this blue car moves up. Thank you. Thanks.
What was that thing I saw where it's like there should be different honks? Was it a stand-up or like a Tumblr post or something?
I don't know. I've never seen it, but there of course should be different honks.
Like just hey, and as one honk like hey, and then another honk like
If it's
fuck off.
If it's loud or you hold it for more than a little beep, that means that you're kind of saying something stronger.
Kind of, but it's not. There's not like a clear thing like that.
It's pretty clear. It's almost always pretty clear.
I don't know.
I'm really excited. Now I'm going to get the test today. I'm really excited.
You say as you cough.
I know. But I always get a drive-through.
Oh look, Jack's Hot Wieners. What a terrible name for anything.
Or a especially good name. Now I just want a hot melty cinnamon bun with
Like-
Ryan.
Huh?
Now I just want a hot melty cinnamon bun with Ryan.
What if there was a business with that name, but then one day you pass by and there's just asterisks around the name, like an asterisk at the front of the name and
I don't know what that
on the. Pizza Fair?
That's a bad name. I don't even know what that means.
It's fair pizza. I feel like so all those buildings are boarded up now, or something. I feel like that used to, the logo was like a tent, like a Renaissance Fair tent, and it was maybe shaped like a piece of pizza. I mean, it was decorated like a piece of pizza, like there was like it was like a Renaissance Fair type tent with a triangle. Don't touch that. And then And there was like pepperoni on it. Maybe.
So, how's Garfield lately? How's Jim Davis lately?
I don't know how Jim Davis is. You know, he's living his private life forever. Garfield, the only notable thing happening with Garfield lately is Nathan Masry, the CEO of Garfield Eats, has been posting some weird stuff to Twitter.
Garfield Eats?
Implying...
What's that?
It's the Garfield restaurant.
What?
That, oh God, how do I explain Garfield Eats?
What?
So it's a restaurant / enter-gauging app, as he would call it.
Oh, it's an app?
No, it's a restaurant.
Okay.
With it that you can only order through an app. What the phone just undid my seatbelt. What if we got in a car accident? And right before we got in a
things to worry about.
Why? So you just pointed. So you said you have other things to worry about, and you pointed to the. You gestured to the laptop and microphone, and by bumping into the microphone, and I don't know why that has to be worried about more. Don't stop.
I want to see if it does on the thing down there. Watch.
Don't. Stop. It doesn't. It's still making a noise whether you see it or not.
Oh.
Well, you don't care. Whatever.
I do want to know about Garfield Eats.
I do. That's not. I wasn't even trying to explain about that, but you don't want to know anyway.
I do.
Oh my God. It's a restaurant / enter-gauging app. The first restaurant was opened in Dubai, and then another one was opened in Toronto, and the one in Dubai closed, I guess.
How come so far around the world? How does this guy manage these things? He's a guy who goes on a plane all the time?
Nathan Masry?
Is he rich?
It's unclear.
How bizarre.
It's, he dresses like he's rich.
So bizarre. Dubai is a really expensive place.
Yeah.
What can
He dresses like he's rich. He, I don't know. I think he has connections.
So,
I think that, he was able to get connected with Jim Davis and convince him to start this this business,
oh my God,
this
so
business.
Weird.
And so it's a business where you go to the restaurant and you can't just go in and order something. You have to download the app and order from it and then pick it up at the restaurant, or they deliver, I guess.
So
and this was like a few years ago.
This would work so easily in Midwestern America.
And then it opened in Toronto, and it closed in Dubai, and then
do Middle Eastern people even know who the hell Garfield is?
and then in the pandemic, Garfield's world famous. It's like Mr. Bean. You know Mr. Bean's huge in Asia, right?
I just can't even imagine Asian people loving Mr. Bean.
There was a Chinese movie based on this sketch show from China or something, some show like that from China, and they just had Mr. Bean appear in it for one scene, and they put him on the poster and everything.
I'm dying.
Because he's so huge in Asia.
Oh my God, that's like Jerry Lewis being popular in France.
Well,
I don't
no, because Mr. Bean. It makes sense Mr. Bean's world famous because he doesn't talk.
Well, Jerry Lewis just goes, and then he falls over things.
No, Jerry Lewis relies on words, I think. Mr. Bean literally pantomimes.
Jerry Lewis was a lot of pratfalls and slapstick.
Yeah, but there is still dialogue.
I wanted to say slap falls and slapstick.
There is still dialogue. Hurt Rob Levine, all help. Just take the question mark away. Hurt Rob Levine, all help. And then put in your own phone number, so it's like, call me, and we'll work together to help hurt him.
What a brilliant billboard.
We clean Uggs. That's what that sign says. That's Anyway,
Did the Toronto one?
the Toronto one closed during the pandemic.
People, I mean,
But now it's trying to be a frozen food line. So the food that they were serving, they're trying to sell it in stores as a frozen food. So they had their lasagna, and now they're trying to sell it. It's called the Big Cow lasagna. I don't know why, and they're trying to sell it in stores under the Garfield Eats logo. I guess it's in some Walmarts now. I don't know if that's only in Canada.
it's so weird to me that something that was a thing in the 80s is still going strong, and you're gonna be like, yeah, he's awesome, but
No, not even just that he's awesome. It's a huge brand. They were bought by Viacom a few years ago.
Okay,
Garfield
so
was.
I guess what it is, it's equivalent to Snoopy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like
Because Snoopy
more-
was in the 50s to the 80s to the 90s or something, and it shows the guy's long dead, but Snoopy's still Snoopy. Like everyone knows
I'm hoping that
Snoopy
Garfield
and Charlie Brown
will
too.
continue in syndication when he dies. Just, I mean, Jim Davis will never die, but like,
It's another
if
character.
Jim Davis ever stops, I'm hoping Garfield will continue not by someone else taking over, but by the way Peanuts does it, where Peanuts is still airing in syndication. It's still in newspapers, but even though he's not making any new strips.
And then the other one that's not the exact same, but it's sort of the same as Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird. For whatever reason, people have an affinity for those characters.
Well, we're talking about comics, like.
But I'm just saying, like,
If there's another comic that's still in syndication that doesn't run. Andy Capp. Andy Capp is still in syndication, even though.
Who knows Andy Capp? People don't even get the paper. I mentioned Andy Capp.
Andy Capp is huge in Britain. Because that's where it's from. There's an Andy Capp statue in his hometown.
I love it how you know all this random stuff so much.
I like Andy Capp.
You know what the biggest impression Andy Capp made on me as a kid?
What? The fries?
No. I'm like a young girl, and Andy Capp always looked at the young ladies, and the artist always drew the young ladies as having like a slim build and slim legs, and then the artist drew his wife having really wide build and wide legs, and it always like struck me as a kid, as a young girl, like, what is that all about? Like, why is his wife so wide, and why are those other ladies so thin? And I don't know, it kind of gave me some weird feelings about being a girl at all.
Yeah, Andy Capp is problematic.
What about like being a male chauvinist and checking out ladies and being mean to
Yeah.
your wife?
But I mean, he's.
They
You could say the same thing about a lot of things. Like
Any-
One Piece does the same thing. Like
It-
I mean, they're the bad guys. There are some women villains that are skinny, but most of them, but like, it's like, oh, here's the old women villain, and she's like.
As a young girl, it gave me
But
a
then
certain amount
like
of.
Nami and Robin, they're
They're
skinny.
cute, like
They're
teenagers.
super skinny in
Like
like a really
teenagers.
stylized way. No, like in a stylized way, so they're like
Yeah,
needles.
and it did give me a sort of a little bit of a paranoid feeling as a kid that if you get older and you get to be a middle-aged, I didn't know what middle-aged meant, but an older lady, then you turn ugly.
I think
And
that's
it makes
that.
you feel
I don't.
kinda
Yeah,
weird.
I don't think that Reg Smythe is the author of Andy Capp. I thought it was Reg Smythe, but it's Reg Smythe.
That he what?
I don't think he was trying to.
Be mean to women.
I mean, I do think it was a subconscious thing, but no, I'm not trying to defend. But I think like, it's not. It wasn't supposed to be like Andy Capp's wife is ugly and these women are beautiful. I mean, there was that sort of, but I think it was more like his wife is like his age, and so his wife is like
Middle-aged.
yeah, she's like middle aged. She's
It's
like
called
not
matron-
skinny.
It's
She's
called matronly.
yeah, but and then the girls he's chasing are younger and they're still like in shape.
25 with mini skirts or whatever.
Because there are I was looking at it recently, and there was like jokes like, implying like the girls were half his age or whatever. Like,
it makes it hard to grow up as a girl because you have a fear like you're gonna turn into that, and then that comic was one of the main impressions it made on me was that his
it's
wife
definitely
was
not for
big
children.
and the other ladies that he looked at were thin.
I don't know why I had one of those books as a kid. I don't know why.
And it's
I
kind
don't
of
know where I got it from.
It's kind of
I
sad.
thought it was kind of funny, but like,
it's kind of sad because all of these older ladies are people's wives, and they're just like, "You're my wife."
I like Andy Capp, but like only it's like under the lens of the same way you have to look at Seinfeld or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and stuff like that. Like, these aren't good people.
These aren't good people.
Yeah.
It's strange to like comedy of people who are douchebags or scumbags.
Why is it strange?
Why do people think... Okay, this is a serious question about comedy because I love comedy, but I don't really understand why people think watching someone like the Honeymooners or people who are just...
I'm not really familiar with the Honeymooners.
So basically, he comes home from work from being a bus driver.
I mean, he jokes about beating his wife, I guess, but...
He comes home from work being a bus driver to a walk-up in New York City that's only like a kitchen and a bedroom. I don't even think they have a living room. And she's tired and he's exhausted. And he also has very little self-confidence. He dreams of having a better life, but he just has this one crappy apartment that has like almost no furniture in it.
Days.
And then
one of these days we'll live on the moon.
And then she just acts like she's not thrilled to see him because he doesn't act particularly nice to her. So he gets really angry that she doesn't have a pleasant something, and she doesn't kiss his feet or whatever, or kiss his butt. So then he says, you know, one of these days I'm going to knock you out. But he said it like, I'm going to knock you to the moon. And
one of these days we're going to live on the moon. Well, that's how set we'll be.
And then she's just like, whatever, Ralph. And then she's like, yeah, whatever, with his fist. And then his best friend comes over who works for the sewer department. And he's really skinny and full of energy. And generally a pretty light, happy guy.
Barney.
Is his name actually Barney?
No.
It's Al Carney, and his name's Norton. Yeah. So Norton comes over, and he just likes people in general. He doesn't really judge people. So even though it's basically like Fred and Barney only.
Al Carney Rebel. Well, yeah, because it's a parody of the Honeymooners.
Except for that Fred's actually.
That's what I was going
Wilma.
to say is weird because the Flintstones, they're not assholes.
I know, and that's the difference between All in the Family too. Like if you watch the first couple of episodes, Archie is like, holy shit. But then if you watch it more, Archie obviously loves everyone. But like, and that's the difference between the Family Guy and the Simpsons too, is that Homer...
Wait, which one is All in the Family? Is that the
Archie
one with...
and Edith. Oh, Archie, how was your day?
I was thinking of Married with Children.
Edith, get me a beer, will ya, huh?
What's Married with Children like?
Oh
that's kind of like that too, right?
So those are really, really bad people. But
okay.
The funny thing about Married with Children is that they love the horribleness in each other. So it's kind of like a bunch of bullies. They're not bullies, but bullies enjoy other bullies' pranks. And so when they're scumbags to each other, but then when one of them is a scumbag to someone else, they all kind of high-five each other like, oh, good one.
That's what Always Sunny is like.
Good one, good burn.
That's exactly what Always Sunny is like.
Like they're constantly being mean to each other, but they a little bit...
The thing about Always Sunny is Always Sunny is like any of those other shows, but on crack.
But All in the Family wasn't like that. All in the Family was Archie was kind of like a grouchy person, and everyone else was like being abused by him. But then he stopped being that way.
See, I see those three shows as like they kind of blend together in my head. I can see them, tell them apart, but like I'm just like Honeymooners, All in the Family, and Married with Children, and like the three generations, even though they're unrelated shows.
With Married with Children, I can kind of see the humor in it because even they're mutually being mean to each other, and they're also mutually thinking it's funny. So they're kind of all having a good time at each other's expense. So nobody is really ultimately being bullied, except for maybe their son is a little bit sick of it. But and it doesn't seem like any of them are particularly sad because they're always too busy having a good time with their dumb jokes. But with the Honeymooners, everyone seems really sad and defeated. And also in Family Guy, there's so much abuse, and the daughter seems really sad. And I don't
She's
understand.
the only one that seems sad, though.
But also, so
Not to defend Family
she's
Guy,
so
but I don't think they
super
seem sad.
abused that if she died, they would just be like, "Can you put that over in the gutter, please? Can you just like move that thing?"
Well, if she actually died, I don't think so, because usually most of the time it's like, if there's a storyline, then they'll suddenly care about whatever is going on with Meg. But if there's a throwaway joke, it's like, hey, fuck Meg.
No, there's a storyline where people broke into their house and they were in a safe room and they sent her to check it out to get raped and murdered or whatever.
But that was a throwaway joke. It just impacted the story. But the story wasn't surrounded around it. If the story was about her, then they would suddenly care.
I hate the way they treat her, and I don't understand why.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that's the logic of the show.
I don't understand why people like shows that are just mean and sad. I don't understand.
I made a list on IMDb of shows with characters like that.
That
I
are
think
mean
Family
and
Guy
sad.
is the ultimate example. But there's also Toby on The Office, Jerry on Parks and Rec.
Wait. Toby on the... Oh, he's abused.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he literally worked out perfectly because he's supposed to be forgettable, and I totally forgot him. He's abused? But he's not... Okay.
No, by Michael, yeah.
No, listen.
And then everyone else kind of is like, oh, Toby.
No, except for Jenna Fisher, who actually thinks he's cute.
No.
She does.
He
She said
likes-
it like 3 times. She said it like 3 times. She goes, I kind of like Toby. He's kind of cute.
The actress or the character?
The character. She said it like 3 times.
No, but Toby likes her.
I know. But the thing is, she just thought he was kind of like on a side note kind of cute. Like, she didn't really spend more than 2 thoughts on him. Because, again, he's forgettable. While his whole mind is absorbed with his love.
Well, that's the thing then, isn't it? Because it's like the one character that likes him doesn't actually like him that much.
She thought he's okay. If she knew how much he was obsessed with her, then she would be so creeped out. She'd be like, ugh, gross. But, no, he just has super low self-confidence.
No, that's another example of one of those characters. There's Toby.
You mean you made a list of abused characters? Like
Well, yeah,
Meg?
because it's such a stupid trope that they always have to have one of these type of characters in
Really?
this show.
What kind? Not every show. Friends doesn't have an abused. Oh, Gunther.
Maybe sometimes it's a less prominent character. Family Guy, it's Meg. The Office is Toby. Parks and Recreation is Jerry.
Wait, Jerry. Which one is that one?
Jerry. I don't know how to describe him. He's older. He's got gray hair.
Oh, isn't he like a fat guy that works in the office and is quiet?
I guess he's
Okay,
quiet.
anyway, never mind.
Jerry, and then they're like, oh, Larry, here, I don't know, whatever.
So basically, you're saying people who are forgettable and nobody notices them?
Not necessarily forgettable. On Wrecked, they had a character called Kurt Turdhole.
So listen, do you
And
want to know
so
something?
they were like, his name is Turdhole.
Do you want to know something? If you were gonna write a show, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Finish your list. I like it. I'm sorry.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend had a character, I don't remember his name. He ended up becoming more of a character and less of someone like that, but then Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it was kind of hard to tell because there was one character that was kind of being shit on like that by like just Daryl, but then there was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was treating it that way. It's like, oh, okay. But then there was another character, George, I think his name was, and then his whole thing was they're like forgetting about him or something. I don't know. Yeah, and he had a song at one point because it's a musical show. And he at one point he was like, yes, now it's my turn to have a song, and then it cuts the commercial.
So I want to say there's a character on the new Gilmore Girls that was 2 seasons, the brand new Gilmore Girls. So Rory comes back into town, and she supposedly, I didn't watch the series, but she supposedly has a boyfriend. And every single time in every single scene, Mom was like, weren't you supposed to meet your boyfriend for coffee? She goes, oh shoot, I totally forgot. And then when he enters the scene, he's like really well dressed and very caring and nice. And they're all like, oh yeah, your name is, what is it? And like they just give him no respect because
that
he's
doesn't
like,
really feel like one of those characters.
But
though.
he's being used by a girl as a boyfriend who she doesn't even want to be with him, and she doesn't even remember his name, and she never shows up for anything.
That feels different though.
Okay.
Usually, this kind of trope, it's like a side character. It's not like
He is a side character. He wasn't the main one.
But it's like he's a side. It feels more like on Seinfeld if Jerry had like a girlfriend like that. Like it wouldn't be one of those type of characters. You know
Somebody
what I mean?
who just has no confidence and is like a sad sack. And
No, it doesn't have to be like that either. It's just a character that everyone either doesn't care about, forgets about, or shits on. And that does describe what you're talking about. But it also feels like because it's I guess because it's like one of the characters' relationships that it's just like, you know, on Sex and the City how they get like new boyfriends all the time or whatever, and it's like, oh, this one.
So the fact that
what's the one who you're dating now? Whatever,
so the fact that he's in a relationship at all makes him not one of them.
Maybe kind of. I don't know. Kind of. I think. Well, it's more that it's a relationship with one of the main characters. I'm trying to think of.
You know?
Jerry on Rick and Morty, kind of.
Okay, I don't know that show. I know
the dad on Rick and Morty.
I should know that show, but
no, it's fine. You don't need to.
I wanted to say that when you have somebody who's totally like has no self-esteem and everyone doesn't even notice they exist and they feel invisible every day at work and no one remembers their name, those are always the one to go into the office and kill everyone. Whenever you write a story like that about the guy who just snaps and goes in the office, the quiet guy, it's that guy.
I feel like you're thinking of something in particular.
Well, there is the Christian Slater movie where he's just like a quiet man with glasses and a balding head, and he goes into the office one day, and except he imagines he shoots everyone, or you
what
can't
movie
really.
You're not talking about Falling Down?
See, the thing is, there's
that's Michael Douglas.
No, Christian Slater. The thing is, it's an example. There'd probably be many places where that's the case. But anyways, that's the guy. That's the guy who goes in the office and kills everyone. It's the one who feels like they have no power, personal power, no ability to stand up for themselves, that no one notices they're alive. Isn't that Michelle Pfeiffer's character in Batman? She just feels abused and have no self-confidence. And that no one even remembers her at all, and then she falls out a window and cats eat her
trope.
face.
That's a different trope, though, actually, because
cats eat her face, and now she has superpowers.
I saw this recently because you know, have you seen the new Wonder Woman movie?
So you're saying invisible girls with no power?
No. You know the new Wonder Woman movie?
Oh, so I don't know about it, and I didn't see it, but Kristen Wiig is in it, and she plays that character.
Kristen Wiig plays that character, and but it's like they have those characters that then turn into the villain, and it's not just girls either. There's even
the guy on who was a boy, and he's like, look at me, and he goes, who, you, what's your name,
spoilers.
whatever, well, he's like, go away, and then, fine, spoilers, but that's what happens.
I'll just edit out the movie title, but yeah, I don't think that doesn't really.
But it's someone
that's not really that. No. Listen, there's a list. It's not that. There's Cheetah in Wonder Woman.
That's her name.
Kristen Wiig turns into Cheetah.
Spoiler.
It's not a spoiler because that's who she was cast as. That was the big casting.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. If I had, I walked into a movie theater and I was like, hey, want to watch Wonder Woman? And then was like, no.
It's in the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer. If I had walked in and watched it, I would have been
that'd be better if people didn't know that. But like,
you think
it's almost impossible not to know that. It's news that they cast her as that. It's in the trailer and everything.
You're not worried about the 0.2% of people like me who don't know anything at all about that?
Normally, I would be, but if the movie doesn't make an effort to not, if the movie sells it under that, then it's like, well, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Cheetah, whoa. I did not know any of that.
So
how did I know that much about Wonder Woman and not even know that? Isn't that weird?
There's Cheetah, Catwoman.
It's because I watched a guy talking about it.
There's more than 2 examples. No. There's Cheetah, Catwoman, the Riddler in Jim Carrey's The Riddler.
Who's that? Like, what makes him like that? That he's like has no self-confidence?
He's no. It's
He's a nobody.
if you saw pictures of all the characters, they're all like curly hair, glasses, like, oh, we're fumbling with my papers.
I'm a geek. Oh, sorry, I dropped my papers.
And then they snap or something. And
I can't take it
He
anymore.
turns into the Riddler.
I'm sexy now.
does something to his brain or something.
I can't change.
Electro. Jamie Foxx Electro was like that, and
Where? What movie?
is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Jamie Foxx Electro was like that, and then he falls into like a vat of eels that are being electrocuted, and then the electrocution fixes like buck teeth, and his skin turns blue, and he's like, I'm Electro. Don't you know I'm Electro?
I just can't take this nerdiness anymore. I'm gonna explode. Ah! I'm sexy now.
I'm going to electrify my teeth instead of going to the dentist.
If only every nerd could just like fall into a puddle and then jump out of it and go, "Fuck this! I'm sexy now."
There was another.
It's so
No, I thought there was like another Catwoman. No. Harley Quinn. I guess kind of. She didn't have curly hair, but she's also like.
She was a meek, mousy type.
She was like a therapist with glasses, and then this is in the comics even though too. She's a therapist with glasses, and then Joker like corrupts her into. She was Joker's therapist in Arkham Asylum.
So it was actually slightly similar to the Joaquin Phoenix movie because he saw a therapist, and then in the comics, no, but in the comics he was also seeing a therapist.
Well, when he was in Arkham Asylum. So
that's the similarity is that he always starts from there.
No.
He always starts from Arkham Asylum.
No, he didn't start it from Arkham Asylum in Joker.
No, but I mean, like
no, he was already the Joker, and then he's captured. No, in the movie Joker. Spoiler alert. He ends up in an insane asylum at the end. But it's not like Batman. It's not like when the Joker gets captured by Batman and gets put in Arkham Asylum, which is basically prison in Gotham City. To just go to Arkham Asylum. I don't know why all the villains end up there instead of actual prison.
so stupid.
Like there's not a prison that exists in Gotham City for some reason. There's just Arkham Asylum.
Sure about that?
That's the famous thing is that they always get put in Arkham Asylum.
That's because all of his bad guys are all insane. He doesn't have any normal ones.
But I guess because they're all so weird, they could just plead insanity. Batman could probably plead insanity too.
That's hilarious. I mean, he breaks the law. He speeds down the street without permission.
that's how he breaks the law.
He breaks into buildings. He causes a disturbance of the peace. He's just breaking laws all over the place. He acts as a vigilante. That's against the law.
That's the thing that he does is against the law.
That's the main thing.
That's the thing. Not speeding.
He doesn't have a license to operate his plane. In the public city
No, he
airwaves.
does.
No, not in the airwaves in the city like that. I mean, the city air.
No. Well, that's different than a license.
There's no traffic controllers.
That's different than a license, though.
Well, like a license to.
He doesn't have permission, but he probably has a license to fly. Because if he learned to fly, he would have had to learn.
Do you know it's even
the usual way?
Do you even
probably.
You know it's illegal to climb on the outside of public buildings.
Of course it is.
Because it endangers people and stuff. Batman is a criminal.
Oh, yeah, I guess because he does that, yeah. Well, he mostly...
But then the police have a bat signal. Batman, we need you.
Batarangs up.
And falls. And climbs.
He doesn't use suction cups, though. Like that guy climbed Trump Tower.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking when I said that example.
I know, because that's the one real life example of that.
Was he wearing Batman outfit?
No, he was wearing suction cups on his hand.
Really?
Something like that. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Industrial suction cups.
That's insane. He should go to asylum.
Not like plungers. Like actual suction cups you could use to do that. But it takes a long ass time.
And when Batman uses his super speedboat, he gets a lot of pollution in the public waters. And that's against the law. He's breaking pollution laws.
How?
Just kidding. Well, speedboats and stuff release a lot of like fuel.
They do?
Well,
I thought only if they're leaking.
it's just like it's not very good to have all those like speedboats and stuff.
But that's like what people use.
I'm just kidding.
You're kidding?
Well, I'd have to research it, but
Wait,
I just figured that some boat that goes as fast as his must have really powerful engines that cause pollution.
What about the big, huge boats? They would need really powerful engines.
Like cruise ships.
Yeah.
They also are probably a lot bigger with a lot more safety stuff on them. But those little motorboats, like Batman has, like, you know, the speedboats.
His would probably be like a yacht, though.
Batman? No, speedboats.
Yeah. Like a speed yacht.
I'm gonna ask Google, but you can keep talking.
I'm sure Batman has environmental...
He's just a bad person all around.
He's a bat person. I'm trying to backtrack into the conversation, but I don't remember where. Let's see, Batman. Villain,
They add metal-
villain trope, hated person trope, Andy Capp.
So, two-stroke motors, which speedboats have because they're little engines, can emit 25 to 30% of their unburned gas and oil mixture into the water. Whereas four-stroke motors, like really bigger motors, like a cruise ship might have, emit 97% less air and water. But actually, cruise ships are notoriously polluting. But the problem is that cruise ships aren't in American jurisdiction. They kind of like operate in international waters, so nobody punishes them, and they are responsible for huge emissions.
What?
Yes, like they're one of the dirtiest industries in the whole world, and they really one cruise ship can release as much pollution in the air as like London. Like it's like really so terrible that when they wanted to save the cruise line industry, when Trump wanted to save it because, well, he was the president and they were asking for help, they shouldn't have gotten any help because they're such a filthy business. Like, let them all go out of business. That's how bad they are. They're like a huge environmental...
Why doesn't anyone stop them?
Because they don't operate under like any particular country.
But that doesn't make sense.
And so...
How do they not... How are you allowed to not operate under a country?
Because they can say to the United States, oh, we're from Jamaica, and then Jamaica they can say, oh, we're not
But
from
they're not,
wherever.
though.
They just...
They're not literally. They can't be.
What?
They can't... That's like... That'd be like... That's like if you're like... All right, you say to your parents, all right, I'm going out, and the mom's like, hey, who told you could go out? It's like, oh, Dad did, and then you talk to Dad, and it's like, hey, who said you could go out? And it's like, oh, Mom did. And it's like neither of them actually said that you could go out.
Hello, thank you, exactly.
but like
that's exactly. Listen.
But
to
that's
this.
but then they don't actually. That's not actually.
Listen to
like
this.
sure. Then in that situation, that you can stop them if you actually knew, which you do know. So like.
But then isn't the mom and dad gonna argue? And the mom's gonna be like, "Why?"
And then they're like, "Oh, so neither of us told him he could go out." Okay.
But then what if they say we're gonna punish you, and the kid goes, "Yeah, right," and then just goes and does whatever he wants? How are they gonna stop him? Lock him up?
Because they know that they both know that what they're doing is illegal.
But see, then the mom and dad says, we don't want you to go out, and he goes, try to stop me, and then they're like, oh shit, we don't know what to do.
How do they not know what to do? But you can just do that.
Because
what do you
he's
mean?
a 16
You have preventative measures. Maybe they don't.
Because he's a 16-year-old, 6'4" tall boy, and they're like, I don't really know what to do.
But we're talking about a corporation. If you can punish any corporation, if you can punish corporations, why would you not be able to punish this corporation because it's in international waters? Like if there's a way to punish a corporation, how come you can't punish this one just because it's in international waters? If they both know that neither of them are letting them.
So listen, it's one thing to police something. Like in Providence, the police might catch a burglar. Then it's another thing to prosecute, which means what's the punishment? So even if they caught the cruise ships causing pollution...
Well, they just have to decide together.
Well, they haven't, because they can't even decide about their own business, never mind international business.
Why can't whoever catches them decide?
Because you aren't allowed to be prosecuted in a country where, like, you don't... There are rules.
But if you break the law in France, you don't get prosecuted in America.
Sometimes countries have talks with each other and they decide which country is going to
If
go to
you
court.
steal the Mona Lisa, you're not going to get dragged back to America to get tried. You're going to go to a French court and go to a French jail.
But if you're in America, you can say that your lawyer said you can't get locked up in a French jail because you're an American or something. Like, whatever. There's arguments about international laws. Sometimes...
Not if you steal the Mona Lisa.
I know, but anyway. So listen,
Like, you don't get rights. You stole the Mona Lisa. You're going to a French jail. You're going to be arrested by a French cop, and you're going to go to French jail, and you're going to eat French bread and French fries for the rest of your life.
Oh, darn. So listen, Carnival Corporation, the world's largest luxury cruise operator, emitted nearly... Listen.
What about Disney? Disney's part of this.
Listen. Emitted nearly 10 times more sulfur oxide around Europe's coast than did all of the 260 million European cars in 2017 together. Royal Caribbean Cruises, the world's second largest, is second, yet 4 times worse than European car fleet. That's what they do. They're like one of the filthiest businesses in the whole world.
How much does Disney? Because Disney has their own cruise line.
It's really sad, actually.
Speaking of Disney, I don't know, something about talking about Disney cruise lines. I was thinking about their merchandise, because that's how they make all their money is the cruise stuff and the amusement parks and merchandising and stuff. And so that's why they released Soul on Disney Plus, because that doesn't have any merchandise. But Black Widow, it's like, oh, we can't put Black Widow on Disney Plus because we have to sell all the Black Widow toys and shit like that. But Soul just goes straight to Disney Plus, which is
such a
a shame, because I actually would have I didn't pay to watch Soul, but I would have paid to watch Soul if it was in a theater.
Well, so good.
Because I can go to the theater, and then. Like, Soul is the first Pixar movie I haven't seen in theaters since Cars. I think Cars is the last Pixar movie I didn't watch in theaters.
I should watch it again.
Well, I've seen it now.
I should watch it again. I just really enjoyed it so much. Did you love it?
I thought Coco was better.
Did you love Soul? Did you love it?
It didn't resonate with me as much as it did with most people, but it was good.
Want to know what happened to me when I watched Soul?
You cried.
Weirder. So
your tears got sucked back into your eyes.
No, it was New Year's Eve, and I decided to watch Soul on New Year's Eve because I didn't have anything else to do. So
did it hit midnight?
At the moment when, spoiler alert! At the moment.
Okay, wait. Yes, spoilers for Soul. Go.
At the moment when his life reviewed before his eyes. And I forget what, because I saw it so long ago, but he was just like understanding that he had meaning and that his life had meaning, and all of these things that he remembered about how he touched, I guess, that other soul's life. And I started to cry, and then he started to cry, and then all of a sudden I was like, fireworks outside, and then there were fireworks around him, and I was like, oh my god, like we were having like this simultaneous moment. But it wasn't just the crying, it was like fireworks went off outside my window, and then fireworks went off around him.
And was it midnight?
Yeah. And I didn't plan that, but like I started to cry, he started to cry, fireworks went off outside of my window, and then fireworks went off around him, and it was like this huge momentous climax of this movie that is not normal. It was amazing. I was like, loved it so much.
That sounds amazing. I didn't cry.
Amazing.
I did cry during Coco, both times I watched it.
When he was or something?
I'm gonna bleep all of that. No, I don't know.
Okay, spoiler.
First of all, that didn't even happen in the movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just can't remember, even though I thought twice.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I know. I'm not gonna say spoilers for Coco, but yeah, it was at the end. It was with it was because of the music,
Oh.
really, because the music was like trying to play with emotions. So like,
Such good movies. Oh, I just love when
yeah,
people
I
have
thought Coco was a lot better than Soul, honestly, but I did think Soul was one of Pixar's best movies. But
I just love when people have an original idea and actually put their heart and soul into something instead of just writing like cliches.
I thought Soul was a lot better than Inside Out. I thought Soul was better.
That was like,
Yeah, Soul was like so they were both Pete Docter movies. Pete Docter directed.
the same person did both.
Pete Docter directed Monsters Inc., Up, Inside Out, and Soul.
Well, he missed out on Inside Out, like he missed a mark.
Yeah, Soul was like if Inside Out was a Pixar movie instead of a Disney movie. Even though Inside Out was a Pixar movie, it just felt more like a Disney movie.
So I want to say, and this isn't a spoiler alert, I don't think, is that the characters on Inside Out just kind of felt superficial to me. Like, oh no, I'm going through a thing. Oh, I'm struggling. Oh, there's a struggling part.
I mean,
oh,
they're
there's a
emotions,
happy
so they
ending.
can only be one thing. Yeah.
But like on Soul, there's something about the relationship between the older man and the young person that will seem really.
You can play around with
wrong.
souls being more like different than emotions, because emotions are just one thing.
But it was the relationship between the man and the young person that really struck a chord of reality and really made it a lot more personal. And then especially, this isn't a spoiler alert either, especially when the man went home to his little apartment and you really just felt like you had a relationship with these characters, that they were real, actual characters. And then when he would, run into people in his neighborhood and they would have little exchanges, and you'd feel like you knew this person. And so it was like,
I don't know, I didn't feel that. I thought it was a good story, I guess.
But not like Inside Out. Inside Out didn't have any of that. It's like, if Inside Out had just focused on the girl, the kid, like, the kid should have been like half the movie. I didn't like to see those 5 stupid
I liked
cartoons.
Inside Out, but I didn't think it...
But it bored me a little bit. I was
It
kind of bored.
didn't bore me. I thought it was a fun little... I thought it was like a fun Disney movie. Like the same way Onward was,
I don't know what it was that I really liked about Onward, but I really...
You didn't like Inside Out as much as Onward? I thought that Inside Out and Onward were equally good.
Every time you have a movie where the adventure is so freaking long, and I know I should say that about Onward, but like...
Yeah, Onward was literally just...
I know.
Let's go on a little adventure.
The thing about Finding Nemo and Inside Out is that I'm kind of like, are they done yet? Are they done yet? And it's fine. Every scene can be nice, but I'm
We
just
already
like,
said
are you
spoilers
done yet?
for Soul, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, what I didn't understand about Soul is they didn't explain what made him special. Like, they said, and they didn't need to if they hadn't said, this is the first time this has happened in, like, hundreds of thousands of years. Like, why him? Like, other people have unfinished business, right? So why did he not want to die more than anyone else? Like, everyone else was like, I guess I'm dying. Like, everyone else on the conveyor belt, and he was like, no, I can't die. It's not my time. I can't die.
Like, why is he a 1 in a million or something?
Yeah.
It should have been like 1 in every 10,000.
He's just
or 1 in every
he's just
5,000
some
or-
guy with a mediocre, like, who hasn't been living his life to the fullest.
I will say that movie will have trouble with some consistencies like that. I don't mean to say inconsistencies, but like to stay consistent, because they're not writing about anything that could ever be real. So it's hard to, whenever they talk about jumping time or anything like that, it's always going to have a lot of cracks.
Well, I didn't think it was like that, but except for that.
That was a crack.
Except for that.
It was a big crack.
What?
The fact that there was like gazillions of these little souls going to the afterlife, and he's like, no, not me, and it's like, why?
Yeah, that was the only thing.
But that's a huge crack. It's like when you
is.
when you do a time movie, and it's like, well, that time movie is pretty consistent, except for this one huge flaw. Like, you can't write about something that's not real and not have trouble keeping it together.
With a time travel movie, if it's done right, it's just kind of like, you have to not really... You just can't overthink it sometimes.
That's the same thing with Soul.
Like Back to the Future. No, but see, I feel like Back to the Future does make sense if you don't overthink it.
I know.
But Soul, it's like they didn't need to have that line, and then it would just make sense. If they didn't say it was 1 in a million, then it's like, okay, I guess this just happens sometimes. I guess
you're right. I mean, but I can't imagine, like, if I try to write a movie like that. I mean, the fact that they put together the other side in so much complexity and actually made it mostly work, like the subconscious and stuff, that I was thinking, like, that's so beyond me to make this whole otherworldly world. I don't know what kind of collaboration they must have had because it was so complex.
See, something that doesn't make sense about Back to the Future would be like the photographs. Like, that's just the internal logic of the movie, I guess. That's how you can tell that time is being changed. But like, why literally would the photograph, like, if time was being changed, the photograph would just not exist. It wouldn't change into a different photograph. Like, if these people were ceasing to exist, they wouldn't disappear from the photograph. The photo wouldn't be taken in the first place because they wouldn't be there to have a photo taken of them.
I know, you just can't think too much about these things. And that's the thing about Soul, is that there might be a huge little inconsistency, but you just gotta kind of, I mean, it's really hard to put a movie together like that that's all fantastical anyway. It's way easier to write a story about a fantasy world, like, than it is to write about something that's supposed to be a little bit realistic. But
you know what's cool about that character that was saying that, though, the Terry, the who's like, this is the cat's off for the first time in forever. She's voiced by Rachel House,
that boy accountant who's blue and mad in English.
They're voiced by Rachel House.
I love the voice casting in this movie so much.
She's from New Zealand.
It's fantastic.
I don't like Jamie Foxx, but I actually didn't. I saw him as his own character. I didn't.
Is that the guy
I didn't see Jamie
Foxx. Is
Foxx.
that the main man?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God! You did not even.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Thank God, because if it was someone like Eddie Murphy, you can never not hear Eddie Murphy. Oh wow, he did a great job. I didn't even not know.
Yeah,
it was
because
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx doesn't at all seem like that sort of character, but I was like, yeah, this is what this guy would sound like.
Because Jamie Foxx actually plays the piano, and he probably was literally the one playing the piano in that movie.
Maybe. I don't know though. That's some pretty impressive piano playing.
Jamie Foxx plays like that. He's actually super, super talented. I never thought about that.
It could have just been live action. It honestly could have, because the real world parts were filmed in a way that just tried to make it look as live action as possible, except for the characters. I even saw a review that was like, I wonder if they just put in a few shots of one live action shot just to prove that the animation looks realistic.
Where's a live action shot?
No, someone was saying that. I wonder if they did that.
I freaking love the cat. I can't remember. Oh wait. Oh, the cat was a hospital cat. It's been so long since I've seen it. I loved the cat.
I really liked that. I feel like if there wasn't that twist in the middle, I would not have been as invested, because I had no idea the story was going to do that.
That's another thing, is that movie was a lot of twists and turns that actually kept me interested, because normally with like the seeking type adventure where you're just seeking something out and you're just looking and looking, like Nemo and Inside Out. I don't mean to always use those examples,
I think
but
Finding Nemo is better though.
No, but I just want to say with Soul, there was not a seeking. There was like sort of an end, a situation where they were kind of going back, and then there was
another like.
Then there was a huge mess up.
I feel like it was like Coco. The adventure was like Coco.
Yeah, there was a huge mess up, and then they were like, "Oh shoot, how are we gonna fix this mess?" And then there was like another second mess, and I really didn't know how the movie was even going to end, which is always good in a movie, that you don't know how it's going to end.
I didn't. I thought the end was what it should have been, but I don't think it was super satisfying. I think it was just like, oh, okay, that's good.
I don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't. The end wasn't.
I need to watch it again.
It wasn't predictable, but it also wasn't surprising. I was just like, all right, yeah, that's cool. That makes sense.
I think I don't have a lot of patience for movies where they're just like seeking something and they learn as they go along. I suppose Wizard of Oz is a movie like that too.
You know,
but I do.
That was Graham Norton as the sign spinner guy. Graham Norton from
I'm trying to
the Graham Norton Show and from
and
Father Ted.
I'm trying to think of the sign spinner guy. There was a lady, the big tall lady, and there was the big tall other guy.
They met him in
Oh!
the Soul Realm.
God, that was Graham Norton?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited now. How did I not know that? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Because I literally just watched a whole bunch of Father Ted clips. I watched My Lovely Horse, then I watched Best of Father
Jack Dougal.
the Psycho Graham Norton.
Oh yeah, I don't know his name. Father Graham or something. I think it is just Father Graham.
No, it's not Graham.
It's not?
It's
Terry?
something like that.
No, or he says one of the people he shows around is Terry.
Tony.
I think, probably. Tony.
He goes, I love Tony. I want to eat Tony. Oh, I'm going to eat you, Tony. I'm going to be a zombie. Oh, I'm eating Tony. Nom, 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 nom. And then they go like, will you shut up? Will you just shut up? Shut up. And he goes.
Okay, you don't need to describe Father Ted.
Then he says.
He goes, and then there's just silence.
And then he says, and then he goes, I don't like Tony. I'm just kidding. I love Tony. Oh my god, I love that guy so much. That's one of my.
I forgot that was Tony.
That was one of my favorite characters on Father Ted when it shouldn't be, because he was literally the most obnoxious character you could ever. But I think the good part was that everyone always got mad at him, so that made it good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. It was.
That's the only show I've ever seen multiple times all the way through.
I love that show so much.
Like still. I can't. Adventure Time, which is the longest show I've ever watched, I've seen most of the episodes of that show more than once, but I haven't seen every episode more than once. Father Ted's the only show where I think I've seen every episode multiple times. Anyway, yeah, Graham Norton was that guy.
I love
Rachel
Graham Norton.
House was Terry.
I don't know who that is.
Who's the person counting the numbers.
I can't
Rachel
believe
House.
That's a girl.
Rachel House was.
Why does it
You
sound
would
like a
have seen
boy?
her in Thor Ragnarok. She was the Jeff Goldblum's character. You've seen Thor Ragnarok, right?
Wait, Jeff Goldblum's character?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
No, I'm not. I wasn't done with this. I wasn't done with the sentence. You know Jeff Goldblum's character?
Yeah.
She was his bodyguard assistant thing.
I do not know that character.
It was more of a silent role in that movie mostly, or just she would say something about to his character sometimes. But that was directed by Taika Waititi, who also directed Hunt for the Wilder People, and she had a bigger role in that. And so that's I think what most people would recognize her from is that Hunt for the Wilder People. Have you seen that?
I love that movie.
She's the
Mom?
No, she's the
Oh, the person chasing the kid?
yeah.
I don't even remember what that person's face looks like. God, that person
She's
just like
and then she's in Thor Ragnarok.
this person I've
But
seen.
no,
her
but so isn't that funny that in
That person is
Soul
so-
she's playing the exact same character?
the one in charge? No, the accountant. The one who's chasing.
Yes.
Oh God.
She's playing the same character as she did in Hunt for the Wilder People. Which is crazy because Hunt for the Wilder People is basically Up, which was directed by Pete Docter.
I just said the other
Isn't
day
that
I
crazy?
should watch that movie again, but I saw that kid in another movie recently. He was really, really big. Did you remember it? I can't remember. I saw that kid.
Deadpool 2, Godzilla King of the Monsters. He was in both of those.
He played somebody who was somebody mad, and then he was going to turn bad.
Deadpool 2.
No,
You know, have you seen Deadpool 2?
I don't know. I love the song on Hunt for the Wilder People. Ricky, what's his name's birthday? Happy birthday, Ricky. Ricky's.
I haven't seen that since it came out.
I love that. No, and I didn't recognize him, and I was watching him, and I was like, wait, is that kid? And then I looked it up, and I said,
In
oh
Deadpool
my
2?
God, now he's like an adult now. And he was so good, and I just
Oh, he
loved him
wasn't
so
an
much.
adult in Deadpool 2.
Julian Dennison. Ricky Baker.
Oh, was it Christmas Chronicles 2?
Yes!
I didn't know. I haven't seen
Yes!
that. I didn't know he was in that.
It was great. It was so good.
Wait, maybe he wasn't in
Look, here
Godzilla
he
King
was.
of the Monsters.
Here he is.
He wasn't in Godzilla King of the Monsters. He's going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong.
So I was watching that Christmas movie, and I said, wait, is that the kid from that movie where he was running away in the wilderness? Because I don't remember the name of it, and it was.
Yeah, he's like a big star now.
He's very...
Because of that. Because of that, he was in Deadpool 2, and now he's like...
He has so much natural screen chemistry with this movie screen. Like, I don't know what you call it.
Did he still have an accent?
Mm-hmm. But it's like a well-rounded accent where you don't necessarily think of New Zealand, you just think of somebody with an Englishy...
I guess.
...type of accent.
I know, I would probably recognize it. I recognized Rachel House, like...
But it's not thick, though.
Immediately, as soon as I heard Terry's voice, I was like, is that Rachel House? And then when I looked at... as I was looking at it, I was like, there's no way it's Rachel House. Why would I guess that? Why would I recognize that voice? I've only seen, like, Hunt for the Wilder People. Actually, no. You know the other character she voices, which I did not recognize her voice in, and I was, like, so surprised when I found out her. She's the grandmother in Moana.
What?
Which is not a New Zealand
Rachel
accent.
House person is the grandmother in Moana?
Yeah, and she does the singing and everything.
Whoa! The lady chasing him in Hunt for the Wilder People is the grandma singing in Moana.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I did not recognize her in that. She didn't. I mean, in Soul, she just has her normal voice. So.
The accountant. I cannot. That's a boy.
No, that's Rachel House.
No way. Oh, now I see her face. I don't know why she's so...
She doesn't look like that
in
in Hunt for the Wilder People, though.
Yes, she does, though. I don't know why she's so forgettable. I just don't understand why... Look, there she is.
Mm-hmm. So right now, I think... I was thinking about this earlier.
Look, looks just like her.
They're making they're making Matilda again, because there was that Broadway musical that was a hit. So now they're making...
I hate when they do that.
I know, I hate it too.
That's what they did to Hairspray.
And I don't think it's going to be good. I do think she should play the Trunchbull, though.
I would go with that.
Yeah, and especially since she can sing.
And her teeth are kind of like...
I don't know if the Trunchbull has songs, but like, no, she looks like so tough in like Thor Ragnarok.
And her teeth are kind of like something about... She looks a little like menacing.
Don't know what you're talking about, but she does look menacing in Thor Ragnarok and kind of in Hunt for the Wilder People.
She doesn't have Hollywood teeth.
Yeah, I think she'd be great as the Trunchbull. I feel like maybe Pete Docter saw Hunt for the Wilder People because and liked that it was like up but different, and then was like, let me use this character, the one thing that's like new. Yeah.
They said that she.
See?
They
got
said
the same hairstyle.
They said that she's known as having a diverse voice.
3 of the 4 things I've seen her in, she's had the same voice. But in Moana, she sounds totally different.
I don't know how she ever got the job as Jeff Goldblum's bodyguard. Like, how?
Because it was Taika Waititi, who did Hunt for the Wilder People.
Because she's friends with him?
She worked with him before in Hunt for the Wilder People, and she had a much bigger role in that, and so then she had a small role in Thor Ragnarok.
How large is this lady that she got to play a bodyguard?
You know about Thor 4, right?
Is it coming out? I just heard that Chris Hemsworth's body double is struggling to match Chris Hemsworth's new body.
Like she's that beefy, or?
Yes. Like so ridiculously big that the body double is having trouble.
I didn't hear about that. I feel like that always has to be the case, though, especially with like...
Chris Hemsworth has a natural ability, I guess, to really pile on the meat, like the muscle, because it's not every body type that can do that, and apparently he's
Hollywood's obsession with making like having those like muscly and beefy shots and not even doing it with CGI or anything is like so...
It's not healthy either.
Toxic, and so yeah, it's so unhealthy. Like
you're not.
And they make it into funny anecdotes on talk shows, like, oh yeah, I almost passed out filming this scene because I had to be so dehydrated so that my like
muscles will
yeah,
pop.
Henry Cavill like on Graham Norton's show is talking about like the
Sick.
bath scene in the Witcher, and he's like, yeah, I did, and you see him in the scene, it's like, dear God, what the, he looks unnaturally muscly, and it's like, yeah, because it is unnatural.
And
Hugh Jackman on the poster for the Wolverine,
and
it's
it
like,
gives-
that must be photoshopped, right? No, he's just super dehydrated.
So it gives bad body image to people, like boys? Is that what it does?
I mean, there is that aspect of it, but even just for the actors, it's like super unhealthy.
I don't know why they always, like, it's like the actors have some source of pride to, like, be able to
Speaking of, Christian Bale is the bad guy in the new Thor movie as well, so.
Does he have to lose a bunch of weight or gain a bunch of weight?
I
Just
don't know.
kidding.
It's funny, he's playing this, like, demon-looking alien guy.
Wait a second. Henry Cavill is in The Witcher, a show?
Yes.
I don't even know that show. But then Nicolas Cage is in a movie?
No. He was in the movie Season of the Witch.
I thought he was in Vavitch or something.
No, he wasn't in the Vavitch.
I don't know any of these movies.
It's based on a book series that was also a popular
Witcher?
video game series. Yes. Or maybe just a book. I don't know.
He doesn't look good in these pictures.
Which one?
Oh, I had to Google bath scene to see what he looks so.
You had to Google it.
He doesn't even look good. He just looks boring.
Let me see. No, not that. No, maybe it's not that scene then. I saw one picture where it's like, Jesus. Let me. I posted it in the screenshots channel on my server at one point, so let me see if I can find it.
He doesn't look good though.
Oh, here's some screenshots I saved from Soul.
Why?
Because they're funny.
When did you see his hole?
The other day, I don't know. There was this as well from that Pixar short.
I don't remember a Pixar short. How did I miss that?
It wasn't before the movie.
Well, how'd you see it?
I watched it before the movie because it came
Why
out.
does it say
time
Immortals?
as
Is that
the
a different
movie.
show?
It's a movie.
So is this how he has to be that it makes him sick? Basically.
No, that's. I mean, maybe. No, that's not what I'm talking about. He was like. Let me see if I can find it.
Look at his arms.
Yes, that's the picture.
That's gross.
That's the picture.
That's gross. It doesn't look...
He's like puffy.
That's what Thor's arms look like, except bigger. Bigger.
Bigger?
Bigger. Like, they're so wide that you're like... What? They're kind of... It's kind of gross. Because they don't look healthy. They don't look...
Yeah.
Like... Know who looks healthy all the time is Ryan Gosling. And I know he must work out like a fiend and not eat enough. But he looks healthy.
Here's the character that Christian Bale's supposed to be playing in the new Thor
Why
movie.
would you waste Christian Bale's face on that?
He's a good actor.
Oh, God.
It's a complicated character. This character is called Gore the God Butcher. So he was like a really religious alien on some planet, and he just had a miserable life. And then one day he sees a god, and he's like dying, and he takes the god's like power thingy and kills the god, and then he goes around different planets killing gods.
And now he's not miserable? Or he's just like happy that
I don't
he's
know.
killing?
That's his story in the comics. So
This is not real.
who is that? Chris Hemsworth? Yeah, I don't know.
How the... It's like he's got an extra shoulder. I don't even know what that is. Like, it's literally like you don't even know what this is on an arm.
And then imagine if Kenneth Branagh played Thor.
You know what I have to seriously ask? What are these arms going to look like when he's 55? Are they going to look normal?
He's gonna look like that one guy. What was he on Dr. Phil or something? That muscular old guy.
Look, it says like 2 hammers. I don't know that guy in Dr. Phil.
Yeah, you do. You know the muscular old guy. I don't know if he was on Dr. Phil. Every time I open Google to search something, one of the top searches is General Hospital spoilers. And I don't know why. Who is searching General Hospital spoilers in 2020?
This is normal-ish. It's just very lean.
That's a lot different.
It's a lot different than that. And you know what's even more disturbing about this? Last time he made a Thor movie, he had a beer belly.
Yeah. Well, that was fake.
It was?
Yeah. What do you mean? You thought he gained all that weight?
It wouldn't have been hard to do. Christian Bale and other people do it.
He's not Christian Bale.
This bicep...
Most people don't do that.
This bicep looks like he's wearing a plate. Look at this.
You know, this guy.
Look at this plate on his arm.
This old muscular guy.
Oh, yeah. What about him? He was in Dr. Phil?
I don't know. Maybe not.
He sells, like, steroids.
Not why? No, he doesn't.
That's what his whole deal is.
I thought it was real.
No, it is real. He takes his special medicine, and then he pumps iron, and he can look like that.
So he takes steroids?
Well, he takes special supplements, but they're like steroid supplements. And my only point is, like, you don't make the amount of hormones as a 60-year-old man to make muscle that big. That's the reason why 60-year-old men look like they do. But he takes his steroidal medicines and pumps iron and looks that way, but it's not normal. And when you take steroids when you're older, it's very stressful to your body and causes you
It's stupid. They can make them look like superheroes without them being super muscly. Like, just look at Vision. Like, Paul Bettany, I don't think gains a lot of muscle for that.
Exactly.
He just looks like a superhero.
Exactly. And a 60-year-old man should look fit. He shouldn't look like that.
I bet Ryan Reynolds doesn't beef up for Deadpool. He just wears a superhero suit.
He has a gym regimen because he has to do all that work.
Yeah.
There's that.
Kumail Nanjiani didn't need to... people are kind of body shaming him because of
Who?
how much he... You know the comedian Kumail Nanjiani?
No.
Yeah, you do. You've seen him before. If I look him up now, I'm just going to see what he looks like now, which is like a different person entirely, because he's going to be in this Marvel movie. So now he's totally changed how he looks.
Ryan Reynolds is pretty big, but not like Thor big.
Okay, well, this is just a normal picture of him, Kumail Nanjiani.
He looks familiar. I don't know where I've seen him.
Yeah, you've seen him around probably. He
So what did he...
Oscar-nominated screenplay for The Big Sick.
So what did he do? Have a Ben Affleck stomach?
He was just like
a Ben Affleck
normal
stomach.
He was just normal.
A normal human being.
Maybe a little chubby. I don't know. He's just normal. And now, and then this was like he's showing how he looks now for the Marvel role.
Jesus Christ. I don't even like it.
But not only that, because
I don't like that at all.
You can already see his face is changing a little bit there, but now his face looks like totally different.
Chris Pratt, he will like much improved, but that guy looked better normal. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it just looks weird. Because he looks like a guy. Because he looks like a kind of guy who likes to read books.
Who?
That guy.
Kumail Nanjiani?
It's his haircut, it's his face, it's the way his eyes look. He looks like a person who likes to read books, and now he's got like this weird ass body. And you know the old guy you were showing me that was on Dr. Phil?
Oh, here's okay.
And apparently he is the kind of person who likes to read books.
Here's the picture this is what he looks like.
That they were shaming him about?
Well, because they're like, oh my god, what happened to his head? He has like a super square jaw now and everything.
The left is a square jaw? Oh, on the right is a square jaw.
No, the left.
No, the right looks strange.
No.
The left looks normal.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know.
Look. This is what he used to look like, and then this is what he looks like now, eating salad.
Oh, because he has the like chubbiness of his cheeks?
It's not just that he lost weight.
I liked him better before. It's disturbing to me.
I'm not gonna say he looks bad now, but I will say, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think he looks like a meathead now. This is not a bad. I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing. This is just descriptive. This is what he looks like now, as before he just looked like a guy.
There's too much of it. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with having a dancer's body. Like, just a person who looks fit. And because then you look more relatable. When you have all that muscle, it's like, what are you? Who are you?
They really all should just be like more like Tom Holland. Like, Tom Holland is just...
Yeah.
I don't actually know if Tom Holland is super muscular or not, but the reason he's such a good fit for Spider-Man is because he's
wiry, like a dancer.
He is a dancer. He has like training in that stuff, and so he's...
Spider-Man moves like a dancer.
Yeah.
He kicks like a little girl. Just kidding.
and Robert Downey Jr. he didn't need to be muscular at all because
he's just in a
suit. Yeah, he's just
he's
a
like,
suit.
Hey, Thor, you're making me feel inadequate. I want to pump some iron. And then he'd like try and put on a suit. Oh shit! Can't
he pumps some iron by
pumping the suit.
Yeah, just putting on the suit.
No, but then he tries to put on the suit and
iron.
he goes, "God damn it, my arms don't fit in the arms anymore." And he's like, Hulk, put the suit on, stretch it out for me. No, but the thing is...
And then it becomes the Hulkbuster.
The thing is, Thor has an excuse for having to have a god's body, but right now his arms are so big, I don't even think they look like god arms. I'm confused about his physique. I don't even know how he's even that big. That poor Chris Hemsworth. But, I don't know what I was going to say.
Anyway, Garfield Eats is like a frozen food brand now. And then, as Garfield Eats was kind of phasing out, I don't know if they knew it was closing yet or not when this happened, but Nathan Masry signed a deal with Hanna-Barbera to make Scooby Eats.
That's actually they both are pretty food-centric.
Yeah.
But that's such a good...
I don't really know...
I think Scooby snacks have actually existed in the past.
There's been Scooby-Doo flavored foods. There's been Scooby-Doo brand foods.
Snacks,
there has been with Garfield
Scooby
as well.
Snacks.
Scooby Snacks, the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. Garfield has had canned pastas, stuff like that.
I wish he only looked like this.
Chris Hemsworth, yeah. It's not really clear what Scooby Eats is going to be yet because it's still like they're still teasing it. I guess it's not. Is it going to be a frozen food brand? Are they going to have a restaurant even though Garfield Eats closed? I don't know. It's not really clear. Garfield Eats is still around as a frozen food brand. Anyway, the reason because you asked what's going on with Garfield, and I said Nathan Masry has been the past couple of days. He tweeted like, polygamy should be legal with cartoon characters, and it's like they're just jokey tweets, but it's the implications are weird. He's like implying he wants to be in a relationship with Garfield and Scooby-Doo at the same time.
He really shouldn't perv up his character.
It's not pervy. I mean, the implications are, but I don't think he means it that way. But it's like, why are you? Be careful. I don't know.
Learn from you, Dad. Learn from you. You know that one?
Kind of.
Where'd you get this?
Is it a commercial or something?
Yeah, from like the 80s. Where did you get this from? Where did you learn this kind of thing? I learned from you, Dad. I learned from you. It's like a famous commercial, like the fry. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. One of those commercials.
Milk. It's what's for dinner.
Two goodies salted combined.
Huh?
Two good ones combined. Milk, it does a body good. Steak, it's what's for dinner.
Steak, it does a body good. Unless you're a vampire.
But steak is full of blood.
It's full of wood chips.
No, it's not. Oh, that steak. Oh, that was confusing.
Well, also meat steak if it's marinated, if it's like a garlic steak.
Ooh. Here, have a juicy, bloody steak.
Yeah, they really should just not trust steak in general, no matter how it's spelled.
Buffy Spike had to drink rat's blood.
Why?
An angel.
Oh,
Because
because...
that's the only blood they could get their hands on.
What about cows, like in The Littlest Vampire?
I don't know. I didn't write this shit.
And then they turn the cows into vampires. Just see. Who was that in that? Was Alfred Molina in that?
I don't know.
I feel like Alfred Molina was in that. I know Richard Grant was in that. And Jonathan Lipnicki.
That's the kid.
Yeah. Who was the other kid? I don't think he was in anything else. Was the mother vampire, was that Tilda Swinton? Probably not.
I don't think so.
No, she was a vampire in something else. Jim Jarmusch movie. And who was the dad? He was from something else too,
I don't
right?
have that movie memorized.
Yeah, but he was from something else, right? I don't have it memorized either, but I know Richard Grant was in it because I know Richard Grant and Jonathan Lipnicki, and I feel like the dad was also someone. Maybe the mom. I don't know. Maybe not.
Why is my throat?
I feel like Alfred Molina was in that as like a groundskeeper. Maybe that wasn't Alfred Molina
Groundkeeper Molina.
though. Maybe it wasn't Alfred Molina though. Or no, he was like a vampire hunter. I think Alfred Molina was in it as a vampire hunter. I would look it up. Let me try to look it up with that. I stopped recording because I googled who it was. Jim Carter. It wasn't Alfred Molina. Okay. Anyway.